This is Ian at 645 Indigo Canyon in Chula Vista. Going to go ahead and start here at the front of the home. And we always start underneath the eaves. We're looking at the fascia, rafter tails, starter board, and then the blocking. And all those components make up the eaves, and the wood on this home does look surprisingly good compared to the 4 or 5 other houses that we've done that had very substantial wood repair. Up in the corners there, we can see where there will be quite a bit of wood repair here and there, but for the most part it looks okay. Let's go ahead and get up on the roof and take a look at what we see up there. The home does have good intake ventilation. We can see these little screened off holes over here that allows cool air up into the attic space, and then there are rooftop vents that allow the hot air out. So cool air enters underneath the eaves, hot air and exits at the top. Well, we've got a concrete S tile. The tile itself is still good. It's very strong. There's a lot of broken ones, and there's a lot of mildew, like mold, mossy growth on the tile. And we can pressure wash after we're done on a roofing project, or I always encourage new tile, and so we can go over both of those options. But this tile was in place. I moved it so that we could get a look at the felt underneath it. That felt's in really bad condition, and there's a lot of water streaking on it, which tells us that water's getting underneath the tile up there and then finding its way in several areas. We've noticed consistent issues on these roofs. The builder basically kind of screwed it up in several ways. So let's see here. I'm gonna pull this tile. I don't know if you can see this piece of metal right here, but that's called the tile pan. Anytime the water runs down the side of the skylight, which is very normal, it lands on the tile pan, but then the tile pan is supposed to bring that water back up on top of the tile. None of the tile pans on these houses that were ever installed properly, and so it's amazing that these roofs lasted as long as they did. I mean, all of these roofs have been failing for about the last 5 or 8 years, and a roof only gets more expensive as the damage continues to occur. So these are what's called closed valleys. And we can see that there's debris caught in these closed valleys. When we put this roof back together, it will open the valleys, about a 3 to 4 inch gap between the tile that allows debris to rinse out. We got another skylight with major issues. These are what's called mortar flashings, and so they've used this cement product to go around each of the penetrations, and over the years it just begins to crumble. Water's been getting on that one, that one, that one. These are called dormer vents, and these dormer vents always create waterproofing issues. It's definitely a major part of the problem on this side of the roof plane. If you look over here on Dennis and Leah's house, you can see those tiles that don't match. They're a little darker orange. Those are our roof vents, and those things waterproof beautifully, and we never have any issues with them. Don't know if you can really see the difference between new tile and old. They wanted to keep the color the same. There are some color blends out there that I really love that I'll probably share with you. But there's a perfect example of what happens. This felt has been hit by the sun, and it is no longer waterproof, and these tiles are sliding out of place. So obviously we're going to recommend a complete re-roof, and I think you'd be much happier spending a little bit more money on new tile versus reusing this tile.